For as long as sport has been around, we have seen performance-enhancing drugs and steroids throughout different sports. It's just an inevitable fact that has happened for the previous century. I remember watching a documentary about the earliest stages of the Tour de France, and these guys weren't just shooting up EPO. They were literally on methamphetamines and various other type of drugs that by today's standards would leave many people bewildered as to why they're doing it. But at the time, it was a basic practice, and sadly it happens all across the world in all different sports. And unfortunately, one of the big locations that seems to be a hotbed for doping right now is the entire country of Kenya. So far in 2023, we have seen more than 50 athletes either banned or suspended. And even though this makes it seem as though it's at an all-time high, there have been various reports for decades that show this kind of doping, not just in Kenya, but across the world. Now, according to the World Athletics Anti-Doping Agency, various Kenyans of extremely high status have been banned. And you can go online and find exactly who these people are, what they've been suspended for, and what the status is of their case. It's just crazy when you look at all the athletes that previously have won world championships or run incredibly quick times that are now banned. It's just sad. And for a long time, I've been thinking, there's honestly nothing that people can do about this. There's just so much invasive nature of doping. It's systematic. There's not just one or two people doing it. There's entire training camps. There's various networks of doping that go in and out of the country. It is a very difficult thing to crack down on. And even though I was very skeptical about anyone being able to do any real improvements on this, I just read an article that actually makes me think there might be a possibility to cracking down on this huge issue. Now, if you're not familiar with the current changes that have been made, Kenya has placed a pretty intense anti-doping agency in the middle of the country, and was placed strategically to be close to many training camps and very population-dense areas of the country. And recently, the CEO of the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya, Sarah Shibutse, said that the crackdown is aimed at nabbing athletes dodging anti-doping personnel in an ongoing massive testing. We'll recommend the closure and sanctioning of some training camps after the conclusion of ongoing investigations. We want these resources put to good use. She also said that at the end of this month, we will sanction more than 50 additional athletes moving into the 2024 Olympic season, which means that they have certainly already caught certain athletes, but I think it's also very important to mention that athletes have gotten pretty good at dodging certain tests strategically so that there's no ability to catch them when they're using. Apparently, this is going to be an issue for these athletes as well, because if they are in fact caught dodging, they could face serious consequences once again. Now, I don't know if Kenya is going to face any special circumstances. There's a standard practice across the world that if you miss 3 tests in a 1-year period, you face what's called a whereabouts violation, which also does face suspensions anywhere from 2 to 5 years. But I'm not sure if Kenya faces anything different, or if they have a different way of measuring exactly how they should be disciplined. But either way, I was pretty shocked to read this full article, which I'll make sure to link down below. And she also said that we are now getting to know their information, and by their information, she means various athletes that are in hiding. We are gathering information about their training camps, their coaches, and their managers. The crackdown is aimed at nabbing athletes dodging anti-doping personnel in an ongoing, massive investigation. We will recommend the closure and sanctioning of some training camps after the conclusion of this investigation. These guys are bringing out the big guns. Not only are they going after athletes, they're going after entire training camps. And I guess they have the ability to close down entire camps, which is some pretty powerful stuff coming out from Kenya. But this is a very invasive and pretty ubiquitous issue in the country of Kenya, so to match such issues does need to be some strong firepower. I honestly feel like this super strict method is really the only way that they can make any dent on this issue. And she also leaves this interview saying that there is much more work to be done. But at the moment, I honestly feel like this is the first time that any possible improvements could be made in the country of Kenya surrounding this doping issue. And now I would love to hear from all of you. What do you think about this new update? What do you think about the fact that 50 more Kenyans are estimated to be suspended by the end of November? And do you think that this is actually a positive step forward? And will there be a dent in this Kenyan issue? Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, until next time.